Leaving my units back here because at this point it's, there's a high chance he's going to try again. He kind of went all in right there. Basically lost a lot of units. Can't really show you any of the tabs right now to show you that, but that's okay. But the point is, you saw that you got devastated. So I'm a little bit on the back foot now, but what I'm going to eventually do here, as you can see I'm getting the engineering bay out right now, is I'm going to put a sensor tower there so I can see if he's coming there again. Then I can actually just leave my units right at my ramp, the expansion instead. As you can see, there is an observer floating around here. Unfortunately, I don't have the gas to pump out a Raven right now, and in fact, I'm going to actually be loading more on gas pretty soon here, or I should at least, because, yeah, there we go. With this mech build, gas is going to be the limiting factor. As you can see, he tries to come over there, so I immediately rally my units to get over there, help out. Obviously, you can't be in two places at once, but do notice that I leave my units in the bunker there. I don't really want him coming in the back at the same time with some other units. But as you can see, the siege tanks are going to lay down the law here. There's no way he can penetrate that. Siege tanks and marines are a great combo, but as you can see, gas is the problem here. Notice he tries to get some zealots in there, but with your marines in that bunker shouldn't be a problem. The Raven now spots that observer, but kind of dealing with other things at the moment. He's really doing a great job trying to distract me, but I was pretty fast in this game, so it wasn't that big of a deal. As you can see, I'm really stacking minerals. Now, this isn't actually bad macro. The reason is because, as you can see, I just don't have enough gas to constantly be pumping siege tanks here and get the Ravens I want. So what I should actually do here, in this case, what you want to do, is throw up a third factory and put a reactor on it. Now, basically what you can support on on two bases, from what I've played of this build, is you can get 3 factories, 2 with a tech lab and 1 with reactors, constantly dual pump siege tanks and dual pump Hellions. So that's what I'm going to do here. And in fact, you can actually afford to get 4 if you're going to be expanding in the near future. And that's really what I plan to do. I realize I'm very much ahead at this point, and there goes the sensor tower I was talking about to make sure he doesn't try any more backdoor shenanigans. But yeah, because I'm so far ahead, there's really no reason not for me to expand. I don't need to attack him. It's basically the burden of attacking is on him at this point. Keep in mind, I'm keeping my supply depots up. I'm going to be doing that. Should be getting an armory out soon to get those upgrades. And I'm also going to put missile turrets there, because DT switches late game seem to be very popular these days. Now you'll notice my sensor tower is picking up some movement over there. What you're going to want to do is leave your tanks, and there goes the expansion. You're going to want to leave your tanks back there at your ramp, and then use the Hellions to go check it out. They're extremely fast units. Do note it, I'm getting, looks like, I think I got 1 tech lab and 1 reactor. And that's a great combo. 3 factories with tech labs and 1 with reactors going to do very well versus your opponent's unit combination. And the Raven's very important as well because of those Dark Templar I mentioned. And you would also lay down a point defense drone in case of some stalkers. So as you can see, with those additional factories, my macro is getting way better. Going to easily keep my minerals low with all those extra Hellions, which should be dual pumping at the moment. If you take a look at the this bottom sort of rectangle there where I'm selecting everything, you can see I'm constantly switching back and forth between my units, my production facilities, checking to make sure I'm always building something, and I'm going to try and take that observer out as well. And the missile turret should actually finish the job here. So that's always a good thing. As you can see, building some more units here, keeping up with my depots, and I'm going to throw down a scan just to see what he has. Looks like he's going for Colossi now with a lot of Zealots, so I know that my Hellions are going to be great. Blue Flame is just about done researching, and my expansion's well on its way as well. Now, the armory is also coming up, and that's going to be great. You got to get that +1 attack. Your tanks will just do really great damage versus anything if they have that attack. I also get some Vikings out too. They're going to do well versus the Colossi, and they're also going to be, they're going to be pretty decent versus any Void Rays he throws at you. Like I said, I canceled Marine production a while ago, so Void Rays they're a problem right now. I'm also going to be scouting around with my Hellions, the mobile unit. Meanwhile, just rallying more units, getting some more Marines in there. Going to be changing this into a planetary fortress, I believe. Or it could be, it's really 50-50. On this map, I tend to favor the planetary fortress at that expansion node, just simply because, it's just a little bit harder to defend. I'm also going to be doing some harassment with my Blue Flame Hellions here, and I have to admit my Protoss opponent allowed way too many probes to die there. His reaction time was simply not fast enough, and, well, you can see the devastating result. He lost at least about 10 probes right there from just simply 2 blue flame Hellions. Now I can see more units coming there, but with your Hellions being as fast as they are, you can easily, go back there, check out what's going on. Going to be throwing down an additional armory and keep it on top of my supply with drops. The great thing about mech is you don't need mules. Your minerals are going to be very high most of the game because really gas is the limiting factor here. So there's really no problem using your scans to see what he has. As you can see, he's got a ton of Colossi with a bunch of Zealots, and you'd be foolish to engage these tanks. You've really got the critical mass of tanks at this point. There's nothing you can do. Just leapfrog those tanks forward a bit. Continue to get some more Hellions, and I'm going to transfer over some workers there as well. Get some more gas because, well, with this build you need a bunch of gas. So as you can see, once you've got him contained with that sensor tower at the bottom, you really have a pretty much free win if you micro correctly. Just don't unsiege all your tanks at once. Don't do anything too stupid, and you should easily go for the win. You can even use your air units to just sort of get vision up there instead of using these scans. But, it's a good thing to use the scans as well, simply because you could spot any cloaked units. Now, the Hellions, as you can see, they devastate the Zealots here. You can hear their screams, and once the Zealots are done, the Hellions, it doesn't matter. You can just sacrifice them because the Stalkers and Colossi are just going to get ripped by those tanks. As you can see, they're getting completely owned. And at this point, I'm kind of wondering why he hasn't left the game yet, so I figure he must have another expansion somewhere, or he's just being bad-mannered. It turns out both are actually the case. He's bad-mannered and has an expansion, so I just send a few units up there to deal with that. Meanwhile, just clean up the rest of his forces over here. No reason to siege those tanks anymore. They'll just deal splash with each other. Going to be getting that other upgrade as well. And yeah, once these units go over here, well, it's pretty much game. I mean, he doesn't have anything else. He tries to do a counterattack, but with my bunker down at the bottom there, I can easily unload those Marines and deal with that. Notice that you have to be checking your minimap or you won't see things like that. I'm going to siege up those tanks, use the SCVs, and he just rage quits the game because he's lost everything. And if you can see here, this is just the score screen. I'll just try and show you my opponent's rank as well as my own so you can see how I progress here. So I think it was a 2800 diamond level Protoss. I think so. He actually had quite a few games. I'm surprised he was so rude. He didn't GL HF or give a GG. So yeah, he is a 2800 Protoss. And let's check out my own rank here. It looks like, I think I'm about 1700 right now. 1722. Yeah, so I definitely have a lot of catching up to do. But, hopefully I'll be able to make it. So I hope you enjoyed this. I'm going to be bringing you a few more of these if it is what you like. And like I said, I did this one a little more analytically. If you want to see more commentary style, just let me know in the comment section. Appreciate all of that. Thanks for the thumbs up. Thanks for the subs. Hope to see you again for another Daily Dose of Ownage.